Did you know that 80% of runners are injured every year? Most of those injuries are caused by overuse, overtraining, or just a sudden change in training volume. In this two-part video, I'm going to share with you some of the most common injuries that runners are faced, in addition to ways to treat them and manage them. Hope you enjoy, and hope this helps you out a lot. The most common injury runners face is called runner's knee, named after runners themselves. It's where you feel pain around and behind the kneecap. Runner's knee is caused by repetitive running and pounding on pavement, running downhill, potentially even muscle imbalances, or even weak hips that cause extra stress on the knee itself. You may even want to pay extra attention to how your foot interacts with the ground as it runs. There's something called heel strike, which is when your foot, well, not my shoe right now, hits the ground first with your heel and then the rest of your foot. What we recommend is potentially even leaning forward a little bit to start the impact of each step with what we call your midfoot or even your forefoot, instead of the heel to act as a spring or some sort of protector to the knee itself. In addition to trying to avoid heel striking, I'd also recommend you to stick to flat terrain or even start running more of an uphill terrain to again keep the impact focused on more of the mid or forefoot. Beyond that, I'd also recommend you to try to run on softer surfaces. Cement is worse than running on asphalt, which is worse than running on grass. Even when you're running on the sidewalk and there's some grass right next to you, it might be smarter to just take a couple steps over and run on the grass instead of the actual cement sidewalk itself. If runner's knee continues to get worse, you might consider taping up your knee, wearing a knee brace, or taking some anti-inflammatory medication. Or if worse comes to worse, just simply cutting down mileage is probably your best bet. Add in some extra rest. Another injury that plagues a lot of runners is what we call Achilles Tendinitis, or swelling of the Achilles tendon that connects your heel to your lower leg or calf muscles. This can be caused by a rapid increase in mileage, improper footwear, having tight calf muscles, or what happens naturally to some of us is just having simply flat feet. In order to treat Achilles tendinitis, what we recommend is definitely stretch out both before and after your workouts, in addition to just simply wearing the correct shoes. One thing I might recommend is getting what I like to call the stick. This thing has been with me through thick and thin over the past 6-7 years, and it saved me from really having to go through and endure a lot of injuries. So just all you have to do with this is just simply roll out the lower calf muscles, and that should help out in addition to stretching. Another way to treat Achilles tendinitis is to chill out on the uphill runs or training sessions you might have. Because when you're running uphill, you're putting more emphasis on or strain on that Achilles tendon or the calf muscles itself. If you just simply don't want to stretch, or you maybe use something like the stick, you might want to turn to some anti-inflammatory medication, or what most runners like to refer to as the RICE methodology, which is where you rest, you ice up, you use some sort of compression, and you elevate your legs while you're trying to recover. One of the most common injuries that most runners get, and quite frankly most of us get who don't even run, are blisters. For runners, most blisters happen near the heel of the foot, where the heel and the shoe will keep rubbing together until the top layer of the skin breaks, cracks, whatever you call it, and a kind of bubble kind of forms over, and can be quite painful and just annoying. The best thing you can do in order to prevent any blisters starts even before your first run. It's when you buy your shoe. Make sure your shoes fit your foot perfectly to prevent any opportunity for friction to occur. In addition to just making sure your shoe fits, you might want to take a deeper look into your socks and the material they're made out of. Instead of running with cotton socks, you might want to transition slowly to more of a synthetic material where less moisture can build up. If a blister is still coming back even after you've transitioned to more of a synthetic material of socks, you might want to look into covering them up with band-aids, moleskins, or even potentially some gels next time you continue to run, just to be as safe as possible to prevent any other blisters from forming or even popping any potential blisters you have, which is a gross idea to think about. Now let's talk about chafing. It's when skin just loves to rub up against other skin. In runners, cyclists, and swimmers, typically this happens in the thigh area. The skin ends up becoming very irritated and can potentially even start creating some rashes. And so in order to prevent this, you might want to just wear some sort of tighter material, whether it be like longer running pants, longer running shorts, or some compression material to prevent that skin-on-skin contact directly. In addition to wearing different clothes or whatnot, you might also want to use some different products, maybe like Body Glide or chamois butter, because the use of both of those will actually be able to kind of cool, soothe, and provide an extra little lubricant for that area to run and bike and swim efficiently. But in running specifically, it tends to help a lot. When I was doing my Ironman, they handed that stuff out on the sides of the courses. Even on when I was doing the Disney Marathon, they just kept throwing different types of gels and stuff for us to help prevent any rashes and chafing from occurring. So those are 4 of the most common injuries that plague runners out today. In our next video, I'll be talking with you more about plantar fasciitis, shin splints, and my personal arch nemesis, the IT band. Hope that this didn't detract you from running and has at least gave you some more pointers to run more efficiently. I hope to see you in the next video, and until then, keep on training, guys. Thank you very much.